Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of July, right through the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice I have reinstated the Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things come together. Also worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection that will really waste your wonderful love and drain you of your time as well, okay? Now, false flames, of course, they are relationships that are very similar to twin flames, but they trigger you without evolution. Okay, so there's no personal development, no growth, there is no desire to change in the connection. So that's how you know when you're dealing with a twin as opposed to a false flame connection. So I want you to be aware of that. Now also, you may have noticed the Gaia chimes very still. Even when I moved them, there was like no sound. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, because I feel you've been going through a very lonely journey. You've been, of course, trying to prioritize your own needs. You may have felt that you have tried to find a solution to this connection. You tried your best to reach out, but it feels like it ended up with the same note. The same thing keeps happening in some way. So let's dig a little bit deeper and see what's going on with your twin flame connection right now. But it is also worth noting that twin flames, of course, they are magnetic. When you meet your person, it is overwhelming, almost obsessive. You can't stop thinking about your person. The dynamic is so intense. And of course, it can be very physical as well. But it's more of a spiritual awakening rather than an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a relationship that is more of a process that prepares us to release low vibrational energy that keeps us stuck in fear, addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments, self-loathing, codependency, trust issues. The list could go on, okay? It is a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is often a personal journey of discovery, one that must be done alone, that is triggered by the twin flame, of course, because that's where we discover our true purpose and embrace unconditional love. And only then can the reunion process take place and a sustainable relationship happen there for you as well. Now, of course, there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Not always true to form, but it tends to be typical, shall we say. And of course, yeah, there's that hermit, you know, feeling very alone in this connection right now, but we'll get the rest of your cards to see what's going on there too. Twin flames are here to awaken each other, to stand in their primal power. They're often separated on purpose to connect to their sense of purpose, as it were, their true life's mission. Twin flames have a calling to adhere to, so divine intervention will separate both parties for a certain period of time. I always say do not wait for your twin, because your journey and theirs, very different. However, the journey can lead back towards each other, but it could be like days, weeks, months, years, decades. And you got to like get busy living, not focus on their return, because twin flames are like magnets. Okay, both of you identical in polarities. At the core of you, the vibration is identical. So if you think about magnets that have identical frequencies, they attract each other, but also repel each other. There is that space in between. It has to be there so that both frequencies have an opportunity to change in vibration so they can become a match. So this is where the spiritual work will occur in the magnets. If you're the chaser, for example, and you've been reaching out to your person and not getting responses, or they're not stepping up into making a major difference, because twin flames, they will gravitate towards each other. They'll keep coming back. And they're trying to be the version of themselves that allow them to feel that vulnerability and not be scared by it, okay? But if you're witnessing someone who is not even trying, who's just gaining access into your life and not doing the work, or not trying to show you that they're at least attempting to be different, but they find it hard, then of course you're dealing with a false flame there, okay? You know, twin flames are a sacred union, the result of shared difficulty and pain. Both parties tend to have had a very challenging experience before they even met each other. And these are the things that need to be healed. So you may have heard of the term twin flame mirroring. It is a mirrored experience where twins will project onto each other their fears. They'll push each other away. And, you know, this is a period where it illuminates the shadows that prevent us all, especially twin flames who find themselves in that dynamic. Not everybody gets to meet their twin, but it prevents us from loving ourselves fully. And we have to peel back those layers towards acceptance, self-love, and of course, compassion and understanding. So, you know, when you look at your twin, they are mirroring all the things within yourself that needs to be healed. It amplifies the hurt or the wound or the fear in order for it to be exposed and healed so that you cannot ignore it. So when your twin looks at you, they're looking at all the things within themselves that they've been running away from their whole life. But you force them to look in that mirror. It's like, if you want to be in a twin flame dynamic, you want to be with me, there is a depth of love that you require them to match. And that often requires them to step up and process and face the stuff, to stick around. If they had a response that they have that is typical, they are setting things in motion to unlearn it during the separation period. So your twin will reflect back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. And it is in those weaknesses that a twin will acknowledge where they need to step back in order for those weaknesses, as it were. And I'm just talking about areas where there needs to be healing that have been exposed by meeting your twin. Because if that growth does not happen, then it will actually destroy the relationship. The twin flame separation period is a rite of passage. It is not the thing that can end up destroying a relationship. I mean, it can, of course, because it is painful and lonely, the journey. However, the wound or the root cause of the problem that needs to be healed will basically sever ties with a twin. So, for example, when I met my twin, I'd gone through a very damaging experience with a karmic, someone who literally destroyed and shattered me into a million pieces, almost like I didn't know who I was. I was not even capable of loving myself. There was so much self-loathing there. I felt unlovable because of my experiences. And then, of course, the universe was like, well, cue the twin flame. And then my twin flame came in and I felt this otherworldly love that I was like, why do I just love this person? Why is it that I just feel a connection like I've known this person all of my life? Why does it feel like there's this calm stillness with this person? However, I'm like, okay, last time I fell in love, which is not even close to what I'm feeling with my twin, I was broken to pieces. So immediately I put the brakes on. I was like, nope, that's not happening. I can't do this. I just got fear. And to the point where I felt this panic every time my twin flame was, showing me unconditional love or trying to love me, but I just felt unlovable. The cup of love starts with the self first, and a person who does not love themselves cannot love another person. I'm proof of that. Okay, so I'm not here to take sides or, do the blame game. I'm here to understand each person's path right now in your relationship so I can understand the outcome for you for the next coming weeks. But humans are very complex, and in order to protect their heart, especially if they've been hurt in the past, they will have a certain coping mechanism, and often that is to push away. Even though their heart is screaming, I want to be loved, and I love this person, it's like, I cannot let you in because I'm scared. So, I feel looking at your person, there's a lot of caution here. They're in a period of looking at themselves. This is the moon card, so that means there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of shadow self work going on with this person. But let's get to your energy, because looking at the dynamics, I feel you're becoming the runner right now, because you got the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is to be independent. It is also to be like, you've been hurt by this. You've been wounded by this. You can't do this anymore. So you're removing yourself. You're becoming avoidant of this connection. And twin flame dynamics tend to shift polarities where the chaser becomes the runner and vice versa, because both parties need to walk in each other's shoes. So you have that Seven of Swords. So you've been contemplating a new start. Opening yourself up to new options, new opportunities when it comes to love. You didn't want to, because looking at the energy, you've invested a lot into this connection. It feels like compared to other people, there's no one like your twin. And it's hard. If you see this flower there, there's some thorns on that flower. It was hard to love this person. Okay, I feel they kept you at a distance. Maybe they didn't mean to, because this person's very sensitive. They're all up in their emotions. The Chariot card, they've always been on the run. Always. Three of Wands there, very protective. This person is rooted to the spot. It's like they've become their own mountain, their own tower. They got in their own way. There's a self-sabotage there with this person. And they're holding the ship. The ship is all about the journey. So it's like they've been holding back. They've been waiting on the sidelines. So what are they waiting for? So I feel this person, they are observing right now. They're in a period of stillness and watching. So they're observing their emotions. They're observing how basically they built a wall and not a boundary. A wall does not let any love in. A boundary does. A boundary says this is healthy. A wall says I have given nobody access to me. So I feel this person very defensive. And I also feel like this person moved around a lot when they were younger. It's like they've never felt secure. So it can be that they've had to adapt to scenarios all the time, adapt to new environments, new people, new friendship groups. It just feels like somehow they've been trying to find a base or come home to self in some way, work out where they feel like they belong. But again, of course, everyone should take accountability for their actions. Looking at yours, we've got the Strength card there. So this can indicate you're a very strong person, okay? And you've had to be strong because you've been through some stuff as well. You're not allowing the things that you've been through kind of impact the love you feel for this person. I feel like you have a lot of influence over this person as well. They really do listen to what you say. They take it on board. They may not tell you that, but they really do. And this is a card of leading in your life, trying to empower yourself. I feel like you're also learning a lot about the twin flame connection because pages are curious. Okay, so this can indicate that you're being realistic in this situation. You may have even sent a message to this person, reached out. You made a lot of effort. You really tried to save this relationship. And there's a lot of love and a lot of investment here. I mean, the maturity card, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, of course, the Strength card sees a person who has a lot of unconditional love, trying to tame or quieten the fears of the lion. You know, the lion is this person who feels, especially in the environment, and you look at the figure is being really bold and daring. You dared to love this person who feels unlovable, and they got a little bit scared. They're like, what do you mean you're persisting? You know, normally when I push people away, they stay away, but you're still there. What's that all about? So I feel like, you know, you tried really hard to love this person who, for some reason, they feel very unlovable. There's this energy here with the moon where I would say, and I'm not medically trained to talk about this, but I do feel this person, they yo-yo in their emotions. I feel that there may even be an undercurrent of depression with this person. I feel they've dealt with some very dark things in their life, okay? And I feel with that moon energy that not only is there a lot of caution there, but they don't see themselves as lovable. And I feel like they've walked a very independent path where they just felt like they don't need anybody. They are their own tower of power, and that has shut people out. They've made themselves inaccessible. It's like they're above commitment because all those houses there, you know, it's like they're building a life where they are above needing anybody, which makes them feel very lonely and bereft. I feel this person's realizing that they have created a lifestyle like that where they feel alone. Okay, even in a group of people, a group of friends, they somehow feel on the outsides looking in. And I feel that's because of their upbringing. They've had to be like that. But I feel still you persisted. Still you offered unconditional love. And you loved fiercely to this person as well. So with this energy, I feel you've had a lot of patience. You've been gentle with this person. At times, you know, frustrated with this person. But also I feel this is about you trying to find balance in your life and find that inner calm, trying to almost like control your feelings so that you be patient with the situation. And I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of like, can I continue to do this? Well, the answer is no, because Seven of Swords indicates that it's time for you to make a major decision, an informed decision, and plan carefully for your future. This card can indicate that, you know, you may feel that this person has been underhanded in some way, or there's something that this person is not telling you because they have the moon, which is the undercurrent. Very deep person, this person, very deep thinker. But this Seven of Swords, you know, it can be how you feel about this person. You feel there's deception there, especially when the moon is present. So let me pull a card on this. I mean, looking at the energy, I just see you and this person. I don't see anyone else. The Three of Wands can highlight, you know, groups of people, but that's more like friends. Like interference from friends. So for example, if your person liked to party with friends, it's like they didn't want any ties, they were just having fun. For example, it could be their influence in that way, or someone whispering in their ear, you know, about love and the dynamic between you both. But more than anything, I feel this person, they're removed from this sense of settling down with a person. If you think about all those buildings, it's like safe. This person feels love is not safe. So they've removed themselves or kind of like resigned themselves to like, okay, I'm just going to take this journey alone. So let me just see. It almost feels like they've always been on the run or always like on the go. Ace of Swords, Two of Wands, the World. So the World card can indicate they are learning a lesson. They're trying to shut down a cycle. But also, it's interesting because I feel this person can feel you pull away. Two of Wands indicates that they're in a period of reflection, making decisions. Interesting that there's a Two of Wands showing up right there, and they've got the Three of Wands. So this can indicate that this person was very ambitious. They thought they could wait when it comes to love, but somehow they still remove themselves. Two of Wands is an energy of being at a crossroads in their life, being determined to hold firm to their, dare I say it, please don't shoot the messenger, their stubborn ways. The attachment to a past narrative. Two of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot sees a figure standing on the precipice of change. They're looking out to the sea. And of course, the back of the card, the sky is golden. Gold cards tend to be very positive. but the figure has a world in their hand. Okay, and this person is like waiting for something. So either, because this person, is showing up with the world energy as well, they focused on, their dreams and their goals and decided to remove themselves from love. Or they felt they had to wait for love for later on. It feels almost like they're waiting for something. And the Ace of Swords is present. They're waiting for change. They're waiting for like an omen. They're seeing the meaningful coincidences everywhere right now. For some of you, this person could also be at a physical distance. So they feel like there is never going to be an opportunity until the future where they can remove the distance, which is the obstacle between you both. So if you know that your person is at a distance right now, I feel there will be communication. Ace of Swords is a breakthrough. And the world highlights there was a cycle that is coming close to completion, so this person can come back into balance. But it has been a long process. So right now, both of you are at a stalemate. I also feel like when you met this person, they were going through a really radical change. I just heard, and this is so random, everything was mushy. Okay, so I'm not really sure. So maybe it means that they felt crushed in their circumstances. Mushy, I'm not really sure what that is. Mushy is messy, I'm guessing. I'm going to have to look up what mushy actually means. Mushy. Okay, so I just feel this energy of like they were going through some big changes, some new starts in their life. They were trying to like gauge how it would go, and they just felt that they couldn't get involved in love. They were not willing to give themselves over. I mean, Three of Wands, if you look up the meaning of the card, it can be a healing card or healer, that they were dedicating their life to something, and also that they were in a period of healing when they met you, and they just felt like a little bit lost in all of that, because you're dealing with a person who feels a little bit lost, like they're searching for something that they haven't found right now. And that's not to do with love at all. They could be searching for purpose. I mean, the moon is a lament card. It means someone has a deep sadness or they're soul searching, trying to romance their life a little bit more. The Chariot card, they could be always in a rush. They're always like here, there, and everywhere, pushed and pulled in many different directions. But also there is this sense of like always needing to move or always needing to be on the go because they're avoiding something. They were leaving something behind when they met you, and they were trying to do something new. So either this was a relationship or an experience, but the Three of Wands is like, nope, not going to take that journey. I'm reserving that journey for later. And you're like, well, you can't just put me on hold. So I feel you've had a lot of patience with this person. You are maturing to a position where, this experience is helping you blossom. It is helping you peel back the layers so you learn more about yourself, what you want in a relationship, certainly what you do not want in a relationship. But you know that this person was your twin. And you may have felt that, you fought hard to nourish this relationship. I mean, whenever you have dragonflies, it highlights that you knew that this person was a vibrational match for you and that they were your twin or your soulmate. You may have thought they were soulmate at first, but now you're digging a little bit deeper into twin flame connections. You realize this person is a twin. And there's a lot of thorns here, so it was hard. A delicate balancing act. I feel like you can feel within them that this person has gone through some sort of trauma. But you're also taking back your power and saying, well, what about the experiences I've had? This should not leave me on hold. Anyone who has a question mark over you, that should be your answer, okay? And if they are feeling very uncertain about their life right now or when you first met, I feel that is an indication that you needed to step back. So I feel like you're doing the right thing with the Seven of Swords there. You're making yourself scarce. You're not giving this person access to you anymore. And that may be hard because I feel a lot of you have written a message or you have something you want to say to them, but I feel like you're playing your cards close to your chest at this moment in time. And some of you, my beautiful Virgo, not all of you, but some of you may have even been talking to someone new or have someone new and you're just keeping quiet about it because you're not sure how you feel about this person because you feel so deeply still for your twin. But if that's not you, I would say in the near future, Oh, my guides want me to go to that one. In the near future, you shall meet someone new. And you may hold it quiet, for some time. I'm also getting that in this connection, there is something that has been left unsaid. I'm not sure if it's a secret, but I feel like there is something that needs to be talked about. Either it's about pregnancy or it's about children. So it could be that, for example, you want children or they want children, or you can't have children or they can't have children. Whatever it is, I feel there's something here about something that's been left unsaid, something that has been omitted that needs to be talked about. And it could be the very root of the fear. So, for example, if your person has children, for example, and has not told you, it could be that they are fearful that you will judge them or move away or feel it's not for you. Or if you have, a secret that you feel you don't want to expose to this person right now, it can be that that's something that is amplified in the connection. It becomes a big deal, even though it's not something that would be judged by your twin. Twins tend to find their way towards acceptance, but I feel there is a secret here. We got Ten of Swords, very painful ending, very abrupt severance there. And I also feel with this Ten of Swords that there may be a trust issue in this relationship, but it may be something that was experienced before you even met each other. So if you have, because you've got the Seven of Swords, which can indicate you've got a trust issue. Now, it can be that it was amplified in this connection because your person stepped away, but that's the purpose of the twin flame dynamic, to heal things that occurred before you even met each other. So, Ten of Swords, if you've been betrayed in the past, my beautiful Virgo, again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love. This person, there's this energy of you finding it very difficult to let go, but it's been a very stressful situation. It's like you're having to sacrifice the union and sacrifice your love for this person at this moment in time. And I feel, there is a period of growth here, and there is a lesson about valuing oneself and erecting healthier boundaries. This dynamic right now feels very much like two people feeling a little bit lost in all of this and not knowing which direction to go in, but there is this stalemate. Nothing's happening. But at the root, I feel there is a trust issue that needs to be looked at and healed, and also a conversation that needs to come out. Now, they have the moon energy, so your withdrawal, remember the magnets, as soon as you remove your energy from your person and focus more on your sense of purpose. A lot of you may be making some new starts there. You've got new ideas, you are maybe even thinking about moving yourself. I feel like there's a fresh new you here who is striving for more independence to, focus on your true purpose. I also feel with the Page of Pentacles there that a lot of you may be learning about the twin flame dynamic, but also you may be learning new skills in life. And this has thrown your person into a period of self-reflection. As soon as you step back, it will change the dynamic in your relationship on an energetic level. And then they come seeking. If you think about the moon, it is an energy of coming in and then withdrawing. And you are a magnet. You draw this person in. They come seeking you, especially when they have turbulence in their life. I feel this person is trying to stop that because they don't want to just rely on you as an emotional crutch. They want to romance you. They want to find their way back to you organically. So this is a period of sorting through the stuff, the shadow self, being true to self, because I feel this person was not authentic to themselves. They had feelings for you that they denied. They pushed you away, made you wait. But I need to see a little bit more because I feel this person's always been a bit of a deep thinker. They've always waited too long to make a decision. We have the Chariot card. Now, the Chariot card also indicates overcoming an obstacle. This person indicates that, they're trying to leave something behind, an old way of doing things or an old learned response. And I feel with this Chariot card as well that they experienced a bit of a bump in the road in their life when they met you. And they were feeling a little bit lost and bereft. But now they are retaining the sense of direction. And they kind of know what they want for their future. But You know, you're not here to just be on hold for this person to pick you up and put you down whenever they want, my beautiful Virgo. Okay, so let me just pull a card on this connection. I want to see a little bit deeper what's going on with this person. The Moon, the Chariot card, and the Three of Wands. I mean, this can indicate how they feel about you. And this can indicate that, yep, they feel drawn to you, and they feel that in the future they see a life with you, but they see it in the future. Somehow now I feel like they're busy doing something. Five of Pentacles. There's an abandonment issue with this person. This is right from the very beginning of themselves. King of Cups. There's a lot of love here. So I feel this person has been abandoned by somebody that they loved. And I actually am more kind of like brought towards a parental type figure. So it may even have been like from the very foundation of themselves. From the very beginning. Someone left their life and they were questioning why. Is it because I'm unlovable? Is it that just people who are meant to love you leave? So I feel this person done a lot of soul searching, and it comes back to this root moment of like, why did they leave? What was it about me that they felt they could leave or should leave? So when they invest their feelings or their love in somebody, there's always this whisper, they could leave. They're probably going to leave. There's something at the root of this connection right now where there is a trust issue of someone abandoning the connection. And I feel like they actually just emulated a cycle. They pushed away in order to retain control and protect themselves. We got the Hierophant, we got the Fool card, we got the Seven of Swords. Yes, this person. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Judgment. Yeah, they continuously feel like they need to start over in life. That's something that they've always done. So you may have witnessed them always trying something new, trying to do something new. They may even never finish what they start because there is this depression or this whisper in the very like soul of them that they feel like they're not enough or they cannot complete something, or yeah, they're always searching. So we have the Hierophant, which is a high level commitment. It's also knowledge. And the Fool card is often an indication that something from childhood. So it can be that they watched a parent or guardian cheat or leave a relationship continuously and go back and forth. You know, I feel the root of this whole relationship, Seven of Swords is showing up on both sides. So there's a trust issue here that has been triggered in this connection, and you're learning about healing it. The Fool card is a card of immaturity. It is an indication of like just wanting to have fun, no ties. But this person, you know, they have invested in a relationship. The Judgment card indicates they want another chance. I feel like you've given them a lot of chances, but the Judgment card also indicates that this person regrets. You know, they do think about how it ended. The Seven of Pentacles was, well, what was the alternative? You know, if they felt like they were not enough or they felt dissatisfied with their life, they certainly could not just fall in love and surrender to a union when they felt like they were somehow seeking something that they felt they didn't have. So, you know, when you have a Five of Swords, this often indicates a lot of pressure, a lot of conflict, but it also indicates someone being true to themselves, being honest with themselves, saying, you know what, if I give to this, I'm only going to end up hurting this person or sabotaging this in a more monumental way. The best thing to do to protect Virgo is to step away. I'll judge myself for it, but it's better to save the relationship that way. It takes a lot to walk away from someone you love. It really does. You know, I had to walk away from my twin because I was so scared. I didn't like lead them on. As soon as I felt this overwhelming sense of fear, I started to put the brakes on. And I didn't know how to overcome it. Everyone used to say to me, you have that like brick wall thing going on. There's like some shield. And I was like, what are they talking about? I don't understand. I got a shield. No, I haven't. I'm just living life. But now that I reflect back, and this person is reflecting back, I saw it. I felt I had to show up for myself all the time because no one was ever there to show up for me. And I feel this person, they've had to be very independent and show up for themselves because no one has shown up for them in the past, before they even met you. So when you showed up for them, I feel like they didn't trust it. Or they felt that, okay, if I start to rely on this love or start to believe in this love, then suddenly the carpet will be pulled and it will just go away. So better to, remove myself from the situation and be like always on the run. I get to control my journey. This person has removed themselves from the water. The ship is all about the journey, and the water is about love. It's about emotions. It's about feelings. This person, it's like either they have been in fight or flight mode their whole life based on a trauma, or they've, I don't want to say they've been numb because they have feelings for you. The moon is a lot of depth. Okay, there's a lot of romance, a lot of feeling there, but also a lot of fear. And even fear of the unknown. There's no guarantees in relationships. It's a trust to surrender to love. And this person just refused to get involved. But they're not untouchable. Okay? I'm just being given, and it's obvious why I'm being given it. It's like Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Someone who feels trapped or stuck in a tower. Someone who's isolated or so removed. And they want connection. They want to find a way to connect. And it's such a weird way, of course, Rapunzel, let down your hair, but it gives access. So this person may have felt trapped in their feelings or in their fears, and they wanted to give you access. They gave you a certain element of access to their life, but then it was like, nope. So let me go one more before I go to the outcome. Looking at the energy, both of you need to remain separate. You're in the rite of passage, where you're addressing fears. We got the Emperor. Okay. Interesting. We've got King of Pentacles. We got the Emperor, and we got the Empress here as well. So this person is maturing, and they realize that you are their divine counterpart. But we've got a King of Pentacles here. So as I said, I feel in your energy, my beautiful Virgo, there is a potential to meet a soulmate, someone who is serious about settling down with you, but they're not your twin. So if you haven't met this person already, eggs represent new opportunities, or, kind of like something that has a lot of potential there. So you may have to choose in your future, okay? But there is a vibrational match. This person is aligning with the vibration to be who you need them to be to show up in the relationship. Can you show me a little bit more about this King of Pentacles then? Five of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is a flirtation. This is someone who perhaps is not for the long term. You may actually let this person down. This may be someone who becomes very interested in you and pursues you. However, the Five of Pentacles can be that you let this person go. But I would say that there is an abandonment issue in this connection. And I would say that this person mistook the physical aspect of love as intimacy in order to keep a distance. So a very intense, passionate relationship between you and this person. And I feel this person you're dealing with, your twin, is outgrowing that person, rising above in order to find stability. I feel like you and your person can come together in a union, but it's going to be a process. And I would say it's not going to be in the next 6 weeks, okay? Especially since the overarching energy is surrender. Both of you will find a way to surrender to this, but right now you're feeling lost in this. The maze is there for a reason, and the star is in their hand for a reason. There needs to be healing. You may feel that this connection turned your world upside down, but there is new knowledge to acquire in this, a new perspective. And this card can indicate that, waiting and taking stock, getting on with your life is important. You sacrifice the union with each other in order to rediscover yourself, to connect to your sense of purpose. So you're not losing, you're gaining yourself. You're re-empowering yourself. And the Hermit, of course, is to withdraw and wait. It is to learn new things. It is about spiritually evolving, changing those frequencies so that you can come together in a union. It's a very transformative experience. but also it's an exhausting one. So, have compassion for self. When the moment is right, the universe will orchestrate a meeting between you and your twin. I separated from my twin, and I kid you not, I kept bumping into them in a city full of millions of people. In places that I never used to frequent, that I'm like, what, how am I bumping into you here? The universe will find a way. So get busy living, focus on your projects, focus on prioritizing yourself. You will find your way back to your person. But I would say, especially with all those pearls of wisdom and the bear, it's enduring the withdrawal period, because the hermit withdraws. The hermit is introspective. The hermit is a temporary time out for necessary growth. So enjoy that period of reacquainting yourself with you and not losing yourself in this connection. And it is here the magic of transformation will occur. This is where you blossom. This is where you nourish yourself in a different way. This is where you invest in self and recognize that valuing yourself, and also realizing that, when you and your person reach the vibration you need to reach in order to come together in a union, that's when there's so much respect that, both of you would surrender to the union and realize you would never leave each other. You just needed to have this independent time to learn more about your purpose and focus more on the authentic you, healing. So let's go one more before I close your reading, because of course there's two people here. But I feel for some of you, beautiful Virgos, you may encounter a person who doesn't quite come as close to how you feel about your twin, but it offers you an opportunity. So it could be like a minor flirtation or a period of being with someone new. That will be an option for you. You get to decide. It's your prerogative what you do. I'm only highlighting the energies that are swirling around you and the cards that are popping out right now. The Nine of Wands is an energy of hurt. Wounded warrior. We got the Two of Swords, the stalemate. So yeah, I feel both of you are at stalemate right now to focus on the wounds, the hurt, so you can heal the pain. Nine of Wands indicates not giving up on something, standing on your own 2 feet. Independence needed to be found, but there is still dedication there. And through strength, you and your person can find your way back to each other, because although the Two of Swords is a stalemate energy, considering options, feeling uncertain, it's a necessary time out to take a break and get clear on what you want. But also it can present a head-to-head, a conversation in your future after the 6 weeks. But I would say no communication for the next 6 weeks from this person. I mean, you have a message. You may have just sent a message, or you may have a message that you want to send. But I feel this person right now, they're prioritizing their healing. So they're not available to offer you the love that you truly deserve and desire at this time. So I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. These are conversations of things that have been left unsaid. It's interesting because, of course, there is a large deck here, and a lot of the twin flame dynamic readings are getting, I avoided what I was feeling. And this person, you can see even with the reflection of the cards, the images on those cards, this person avoided their feelings because, they thought they had to be too strong. To be vulnerable and open up to emotion is fearful for this person. I feel they've been through something that they know what it costs to allow themselves to be vulnerable, because they've been there and they got destroyed because of it. So they've been in a period of rebuilding. So we have, I need to trust the way I feel. So there is some sort of trust issue or something going on in the root of this. But I feel more than anything, a need to trust how you feel is, number one, to feel secure in the relationship. And number two, to make sure that you do not rely on a learned response. So that this person does not emulate the pattern again, the cycle of repeat. I feel like they're trying to close that out, but they may not trust that they can. Their intentions are pure. They're trying. But at the same time, we're all human. And sometimes we misstep. And I feel this person doesn't want to do that at this time. So they're keeping their distance on purpose. As I said, sometimes people, we're very complex. In order not to hurt a person with what we feel is a mess in our life, if this person feels their life is mushy, whatever that means, it's like they feel like they are protecting you from something by removing their presence. And finally, we've got, I wish I could turn back time. There is a lot of regret with this person. And I feel for both of you. Both of you wish you could turn back time for various reasons, maybe not even the same reasons. But I feel there is an energy of wanting to start over at some point. But in the next 6 weeks, I feel this is a personal journey of discovery that is done in a solitary energy for both of you. So finally, we'll use this deck and see if anything else comes to light. This deck can offer like an insight to things that perhaps have not even been thought about in the connection. Resolution and marriage. Hold the phone. What? So this can be about marriage from a past experience. Doesn't mean your person was married. It can be, as I said, something from their childhood there. But we've got resolution and marriage. So you and your person, I mean, it is a project. It's going to take a while. But it could reach this. But someone needs to set themselves free from something first. So it says here, you are reaching the end of a cycle or are about to start a new one. The answers you seek are about to be revealed to you. So, I feel like you will get some answers. There is new knowledge going to occur in this connection because the Hangman and the Hermit is there, which is all about knowledge, divine intervention knowledge, as well as spoken knowledge, acquired knowledge. So I feel there may be something that helps set this relationship free, or at least this person opens the gates to be emotionally available, to perhaps discuss the future with you. But if you're not open to that, I mean, the Seven of Swords is on your side, so you're like, not really sure if I'm about that. I feel a lot of you are feeling like it's time to avoid this connection or remove yourself from this connection or teach this person what it feels like to not have you in their life. You're not doing it maliciously. There's no malicious cards here. But it can be that, you feel a need to protect yourself because you can't keep starting again. There's lots of eggs there. It's like perhaps you've been going through a cycle where it's always like a fresh new start. It's always starting again and again and again, ending and starting. And you're like, I'm fed up. I need to protect myself against this. I'm choosing a path and I'm sticking to it. But finally, we have marriage. And it says here, with great patience, you will achieve the commitment you're looking for. This will be the kind of love that many only dream of finding. Now, of course, a resolution within a twin flame dynamic, because that's resolution first and then marriage, it is very rewarding. To finally come into sync with your twin is one of the most incredible experiences, but it is a process and often a very painful one. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. And a little reminder, never wait for your twin. Always get busy living. The universe will make sure that you find your way back to each other, almost as a test to see if you're both ready. So enjoy the journey and prioritize your sense of purpose. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for some of you out there. Finally, we have an arrow. Now, the arrow is all about purpose. It is about movement forward. It also indicates a warrior spirit that you and your person have been through a lot. And this period apart is a sacrifice in order to find the courage to be authentic and true, but also to honor feelings and not be afraid of those feelings. So I would say here that this is about direction. It is about things taking a turn for the better. It is about, locking on to what you feel is right. And of course, the arrow is pointing up, which is normally like as above, so below. So if you are reflecting on your twin, because I feel like they're definitely thinking about you and how alike you are in some respects, if you're thinking about your twin in a certain vibration, like in the past, if you're having those conversations of like things that you left unsaid, or you're returning in your visions to a time where things were turbulent, you're locking onto that vibration. So it's really important to recognize that dream or think about your person in the way that you want them to be in a relationship that is supportive of a healthy environment. So then you change the vibration. You call them back in a different vibration. Rather than remembering the vibration you left them in. if that makes sense. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Virgo. Thank you so much, and love and light.